Oh boy, I'm back. It's been too long. I know, left y'all hanging with my top albums of 2025 just out there in the stratosphere. You were all anticipating all of you, as in all two of you. Shout out to Josh and shout out to Chase, my listeners. Anyways, yeah, I'm back with my top 15 albums of 2025. More than a month ago, I put out my top 30 through 16. And yeah, just life, all kinds of stuff in life. And, but I got some new motivation. I want to talk about my favorite albums of 2025. I mean, this is why I started this podcast, is to document my favorite albums of each year. Pretty much is the main thing that I wanted to do with this. So I'm gonna hop right into it. Number 15, Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist. Yeah, this album sounds so good. Just the luscious beats and gorgeous samples of the production. It gives it this dreamy vibe, and Freddie's deep voice and flow over it just works so perfectly. Freddie is rapping his ass off, nailing his double time flow. He's got that, and I'm not doing it justice, but like that double time flow is so impressive. I also got to see them live with my buddy Chase. Yeah, 2 shout outs. In under 2 minutes, Chase is getting on this one. Wow, love it. But yeah, we saw them live, and it was awesome. They were too cool. Freddie can rap all of it live, no matter how fast it is or how drunk he is. He admitted to being really drunk on stage, but he was killing it. And seeing the Alchemist live up there doing his thing behind the DJ table was legendary. For underground hip-hop fans, that's huge. It's huge because, as always, the production from Alchemist is just so good on this album. He creates this soundscape and vibe, and yeah, I can just throw this on and just vibe. Just all the flows of Freddie. He's switching it up constantly, and yeah, those beats are just like the head bobbing beats that you just you close your eyes and you're like, man, this sounds good. Yeah, this is an impressive hip hop album, and it's the sequel. The first one is really good. I might even like this one more. I think I do, to be honest. Yeah, so that's Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist at number 15. All right, so number 14. I talked about these guys on a previous episode, and this is 2 albums kind of, but yeah, it's No Silent Monks and Colorado's on Fire Again by Richy, Mitch, and the Coal Miners. I would say I like No Silent Monks a little bit more, but I also really liked Colorado's on Fire Again, and I think you could listen to both. And it's like indie folk rock, great harmonies, nice tasty guitar solos and guitar lines throughout, mellow vocals, good morning and sunny day music. To me, it feels like Dr. Dog meets Fleet Foxes. So if you like those, yeah, it definitely gave me Fleet Foxes vibes, but with a more rock feeling. These are 2 of my wife's favorite albums of the year. I would say No Silent Monks first, and then if you like the other, check the other one out. But yeah, I think those are 2 of her favorite albums of the year as well. So I've been hearing that a lot. She's literally looking at me saying, hell yeah. So, yeah. And, yeah, we put these on around everybody. It's a good vibe that everyone can respect. It's good for having people over, good background music, and good listening music too. Yeah, great stuff. Good indie folk rock album. Yeah. All right, number 13, Showbiz by Mike. And I think I've talked about this at least 2 times now. And I've talked about Mike. He was on my top albums from last year as well with Burning Desire. Yeah, but he did it again. It's just crazy, very quick songs with all kinds of beats, all kinds of production, just ridiculous sounds and all over the place. And he just is keeping that really mellow flow and this spoken word, very introspective, personal thoughts, just kind of flowing out of him. Just, yeah, I really like his style. It kind of relaxes me, I would say. And yeah, you can just kind of sit back and catch little bits of what he's saying and just vibe with the flow and the beats. They're kind of jazzy beats, kind of, I don't know, all over the place, really. Yeah, bob your head kind of beats. Yeah, this is a great album. Showbiz by Mike, number 13. All right, number 12. BEATrio. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's this is Bela Fleck, Edmar, Castaneda, and Antonio Sanchez. So I don't know the latter two artists, but I'm a big Bela Fleck fan. I like Bela Fleck and the Fleck Tones. Shout out to Victor Wooten, crazy bass player, but as a part of that band. But Bela Fleck is just an amazing banjo player. And this album is like Latin jazz with banjo. So it's like bluegrass Latin jazz. I mean, I have never heard anything like this. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I can put it on all the time, and I love it. I mean, I've been playing it with my parents. They're Bela Fleck fans, and it just, he captured something else on this one with that Latin jazz feel. Really fast-paced songs too, but then also like nice, melodic, mellow stuff. Yeah, this is a fabulous jazz album. I gotta call it jazz. I mean, it's not bluegrass. It's bluegrass Latin jazz, I guess. I've never heard anything like it. So, I don't know. Go check it out. That's number 12. BEATrio by Bela Fleck, Edmar Castaneda, and Antonio Sanchez. They call me Puerto Rican Lee. That's why I pronounce that so well. I don't know. All right. Number 11. Saba and No ID. I've already talked about this one, but as far as just catchy, good hip-hop that is really, I think, just great all around, great hooks, great lyrics, great flows. The beats go all over the place. No ID gives you production that goes from, kind of a more soulful beat to a little bit more trap beat to a little bit more R&B. This album's just a complete journey of great hip-hop sounds, and I think probably the most accessible album, hip-hop album that I have on this list. I think everybody can like this. And Saba just has such a great voice and an ear for hooks. So many of these get stuck in my head. You keep growing your garden, which I think might even be a sample or something. But anyways, I'm blanking on other songs from it or hooks from it. But yeah, as soon as it starts, this album's just a great journey through hip hop, R&B. Yeah, wonderful album. Saba and No ID with it's called the Private Collection of Saba and No ID. All right. So, number 10. Also talked about this one. Holding strong in my top 10 list. Had to make top 10, I think. Sinister Grift by Panda Bear. Yeah, I've played the heck out of this album. This might be the third episode I've mentioned it. But yeah, Animal Collective member Panda Bear released this indie soft rock album with gorgeous dreamy production and cool keys and tones, nice guitar work. But what mostly does it for me are the melodies of the songs and the harmonies, the gorgeous harmonies, which, is what Animal Collective is known for as well. Yeah, I said it before, but this is Beach Boys blended with Tame Impala. That's what it sounds like to me. And I just love the vibe. I like some of the downtrodden, but kind of matter-of-fact view on life lyrics. Yeah, this is a really beautiful, beautiful album. So, yeah, Sinister Grift by Panda Bear at number 10. All right, hold on. Need a little sip. Having a poppy this time. It's a little prebiotic soda. Raspberry rosé, baby. All right. Number 9, The Scholars by Car Seat Headrest. Talked about this one at length in a previous episode as well. But essentially, this is a big, bold, alternative rock album that I would consider a rock opera. The songs are long and have many different parts to them, and to the point where it all just blends together. You just have to throw this on and not pay attention to which song you're on. Just let it run. There aren't many bands doing this rock opera kind of thing, like they used to in the 70s, like The Who and Queen. But it was really cool to hear a band do this kind of thing, and this album blows me away with the creativity and the epic rock music that they have put together here. I think the first song on this album would be in my top songs of the year list. I love the first song. The way this album starts is just so cool. And the way it finishes is cool. And it's just an incredible journey through alternative rock music. Yeah, I love this album. And shout out to Car Seat Headrest. They've been doing it for years. Been loving their music for years. Yeah, that's The Scholars by Car Seat Headrest. All right. Number 8. Shout out to Josh on this one. Tough Times Never Last by Kokoroko. This is a jazz album, R&B album, groovy album. Great horns and percussion. A lot of like African rhythm vibe. Such a groovy vibe. Yeah, with that percussion and the bass lines. Oh my God. Keys, the great keys, the great tasty smooth guitar licks. Yeah, I mean, they really capture just such a groove on this. I mean, you could throw this on around anyone. I mean, it's been on repeat for when I have people over, because everybody's going to dig this. Like, it's just great, chill background music with great instrumentation. I got to see this live at some point. I think it'd be so good. The vocals are interesting because they're kind of just like background vocal harmonies. It's not really like lyrical at all. It's mostly just to like complement the instrumentation. So yeah, great all around music, wholesome, good music. Some cool rhythmic, I would consider almost African rhythmic vibes on this thing. Yeah, if you have a soul at all, you will like this. All right. So that's number 8. Tough Times Never Last, Kokoroko. All right. Number 7. Man, I haven't gotten to talk about this one yet, so I'm going to go a little bit long on this one. Because I was going to do an episode where I talked about all the hip hop that came out this year. So I was going to wait to talk about this one, but it made my top list. So here we go. Number 7, Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clipse. Yeah. Classic rap duo of brothers Pusha T and Malice, and Pharrell Williams, who's, probably the most famous out of those names, is the producer. And they, were popular back in the early 2000s. They had some hits back in the day. That's kind of where, like, between Clipse and Nerd, that's where Pharrell really got his start and his fame from. And so it's been 16 years since they put out music together. Pusha T went on to make a lot of solo music, and Malice actually left hip-hop to focus more on religion and get out of the hip-hop lifestyle and even drug dealing lifestyle that he was living before. So, yeah, their early albums lyrically centered around their experiences hustling and drug dealing. But on this album, they mention those times as something in the past that they have grown past and aren't necessarily proud of or glorifying. So I would say this is their most mature album. And personally, I think their best album. I mean, that's tough to say because, Lord Willin' and Hell Hath No Fury are really good albums too, but I don't know. I liked this album a lot. Maybe it's recency bias, but this is probably the one I'm going back to most if I'm in the mood for Clipse. Yeah, as always, bringing such clever wordplay and punchlines with smooth delivery and fun, interesting production from Pharrell. Yeah, like I said, this is their most mature album, and they do not miss a line on this. Amazing lyrics. Malice had some amazing lines. I mean, I think he might be rap MVP of the year, in my opinion. Not saying this is my favorite hip-hop album of the year, but I think Malice brought the best bars to the table in 2025. And they do it right off the bat with Birds Don't Sing, one of my top songs of the year, if not my top hip-hop song of the year, potentially, because this is a powerful song. John Legend on the hook, just, making the song cry. It's a song about the death of their parents 4 months apart. So Pusha does a verse about their mom, and Malice does a verse about their father. Very beautiful lyrics. Malice says, "The way you missed mama, I guess I should have known. Chivalry ain't dead. You ain't let her go alone." Man, and that hit hard. And then I think my favorite line, again from Malice, is he said, "My father made sure he had every base covered, so imagine how he felt when he found bass in the cupboard." Now that is a crazy line to me because bass in the cupboard is a reference to when they were drug dealers in their younger years. So, again, man, this album is good. Yeah, so I got to talk about the production real quick. I got to move on, but production is awesome on this. Pharrell did his thing. It is unique production with some beat transitions, like on POV. Love that beat switch. A lot of different beat styles on here. Definitely not redundant at all. So Be It has this Arabian vibe to it. That is probably my favorite beat. Like, if you listen to any song on this just for the production, like, put that on. That is a crazy beat. Features are crazy. Kendrick is on it, kills it. Tyler the Creator, Nas, Stove God Cooks on a hook. Yeah, I mean, this album is near flawless, in my opinion, and really a cool listen with all the clever lyrics and interesting production. A lot of people have this as their hip-hop album of the year. Not me. I'm going to spoiler, but not me. Just because there were some albums that had a little more content that I related to and held on to a little more. So, all right. So that was Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clipse. Thanks for letting me go on that for a little while. All right. Number 6, Private Music by Deftones. Yeah. I don't know what it is about the sound they got on this album, but they were able to just get like a pretty sound out of alternative hard rock. I mean, the wall of sound and vocal layering really give it this powerful and full sound. It's almost dreamy at times. I kind of barely know which song is which because they kind of blend together and have an overall sound, but weave in and out of the different styles of the album seamlessly. To the point that I just put this thing on and let it play. Yeah. The vocalist really gets this like tone that I don't know how to describe it honestly, but it's so powerful. Yeah, and passionate. I just really like it. You know, powerful guitar riffs and the drums on this album might be the most impressive thing. The drums are just ripping throughout this album. So powerful and great fills. Yeah, I absolutely love this album, Private Music by Deftones. This is, my favorite hard rock album of the year. I got another rock album coming up, but, if you're looking for something a little heavier, yeah, this is the one. This is fantastic. I love this. Yeah. Number 6, Private Music by Deftones. All right. Now I'm into the top 5, baby. Top 5. All right. Number 5, Vendran, Sueves, Lluvias. Okay, my bad. But this is an album by Silvana Estrada. Latin singer-songwriter Silvana Estrada made such a beautiful album. Her voice is just so special. She does this really cool vocal inflections where she's like ricocheting between notes. It's like almost like singers do in Arabic music. So yeah, I was just first off impressed by that, but the beauty of this album is just undeniable. So I'll tell the story. I put this album on one morning on my drive to work and literally started tearing up and crying during the first 3 songs. I mean, it was just so beautiful. And I think I just needed it that morning. But, the sun was coming up and I was driving over the lake and the bridge over the lake, not in the lake itself. Anyway, hopefully you know that. But it was just such a beautiful morning, and the way the music hit me, I cried. It was so beautiful, and I immediately sent it off to people and was like, next time you're chilling with a cup of coffee in the morning, put this on. Yeah, this is my number 1 morning music album of the year for sure. Like I've been putting this on so many mornings since I discovered it. And even looking into the lyrics for translations, I found some really interesting topics and even some scathing lyrics towards an ex-boyfriend, I believe, or someone she was, maybe potentially getting intimate with, but she, ends up saying good luck, good night, kicking him out because he was, not being friendly to her, not in like a creepy way it sounds like, but she was just like, yeah, I'm done with your shit essentially. And yeah, really cool lyrics when you read them too. Gorgeous guitar playing, instrumentation, nice layering and harmonies. Yeah, perfect, gorgeous album. I don't know what else to say. I love this album. This is an amazing Latin singer-songwriter album. I even bought it for my mom on CD for Christmas because I knew she would appreciate her voice. And yeah, I can honestly say I will be playing this album forever. No doubt. I fucking love this album. It's so good. All right. That was number 5. Vendran, Sueves, Lluvias. Yeah. Yeah, that might be close. Anyway, by Silvana Estrada. Anyway, number 4. Getting Killed by Geese. Wow. Geese. So this band had my favorite album of the year in 2023 with their album 3D Country. Yeah, that album blew my mind when I heard it. It was a blend of rock, soul, and punk, with this interesting singer who holds notes forever. But yeah, on that album, they really had some songs that were catchier, um, and had these amazing compositions in there as well. Yeah, the songs went all over the place in sound and complexity. Um, and so on this new one, they're still getting that great instrumentation, and the song complexity is there. But the catchiness was dialed back. It was not as straightforward or like easy to like catch on to. So it took me a while. It's also more mellow than the last album, so it has songs that aren't even really rock songs. They're kind of like indie songs. But yeah, this took me a minute it started as not even being on the top of my list or like this high up at all. But the more and more I listened to it, it literally went from like 28 to 20 to 15 to 11 to 8 to 6 and to 4, all the way up here. Yeah, I love this album now. The instrumentation is so good, and the singer Cameron Winter is just floating around with his vocals, not always establishing immediately recognizable hooks or melodies, which, like I said, the last album had more of that. But after you listen to it more and more, you do catch on to these melodies, and there's so many of them throughout the album. Yeah, I thought this album was beautiful. I love, some of the songs are beautiful. Some of them are just rocking, and it's a journey. This, and that's what I love about music, and my favorite albums take you on a journey sonically, and this one for sure does. I will say, don't let the first track scare you. It's a little weird. It's actually called Trinidad, which is upsetting my wife because her family's from Trinidad, but it's not about Trinidad. It's a play on words, because he says there's a bomb in my car, and he talks about being, or like he has kids, and so he's like concerned about them, and so Trinidad is like a play on words of TNT, like the explosive, and him being a dad in the song. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not saying it's my favorite song. It's probably my least favorite song, and it happens to be the first one. So don't let it turn you off, because the next song, Cobra, is beautiful, and I think will get you into the rest of the album. So like, just, get through the first one, or even skip it if you want, in my opinion, and hit Cobra. As soon as you hear Cobra, you're going to be like, wow, okay, I like this. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I love this album. Yeah, Getting Killed by Geese. Yeah, and check out their album 3D Country. That one still, to me, probably is better, and still, preferable, my favorite by them. But I really like this new album too. All right, number 3. Magic Alive by Mckinley Dixon. I think I talked about this one before, but this is pure jazz rap. Like, maybe the most jazz rap I've ever heard. Like, even if you don't like the vocal style of rapping, you can at least appreciate what the instrumentation is on this. Wait, rap music has instruments? Yes, it does. I know, the majority of rap doesn't. Yes, but there are, a lot of rap, if you look for it, with live band instrumentation. And several of the albums on my list are rap albums with real instrumentation, Brother Ali and Little Sims on my album, on this list as well. So, Anyways, yeah, this has live band instrumentation with amazing musicianship displayed on this. The drummer, especially, um, it's just ripping. Where you can even literally hear the drummer picking up pace to match Mckinley's rapping, almost giving it this like improvised jazz feel to it. Like what's that form of jazz, like beat poetry, kind of, where he's kind of matching the flow. Yeah, so unique. Some really great horns and solos on here. Yeah, and then Mckinley's rapping is passionate and dynamic with interesting eccentricities throughout. And as I mentioned before, the concept of the album is incredibly interesting as well. The concept is a group of friends lose one of their friends, passes away, and they try to figure out through magic, voodoo, witchcraft, sorcery, the supernatural, whatever, how to bring him back to life. And it's such a cool analysis of life and death, and the desire to have control of that, and to bring those loved ones back, which is a deep concept. But he makes it super fun and an enjoyable listen, and it's not in your face like that. It's kind of just like a subtle concept that goes along with the album. But yeah, this is a brilliant album. Magic Alive by Mckinley Dixon. All right, just two more. Whoa. Number 2, Darling Blue by Marcus King. Yeah, my favorite country rock album of the year. Marcus King is a great guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter. I knew him more for being like a southern rock guy, but he leaned into his country sound more on this album, and I'm here for it. I loved it. Every song has a different vibe or even style of country. He's got more mellow acoustic songs like On and On, Pretty Petty, and Die Alone. And then he's got country rockers like Honky Tonk Hell and Here Today. And he's got even more bluegrass with like Fiddle on Heartlands, and the guitar picking from none other than Mr. Bluegrass himself, Billy Strings, on the song Dirt. And he's got more soulful form of country on Carolina Honey, No Room for Blue, and Blue Ridge Mountain Moon. Yeah, No Room for Blue, by the way. His vocals blew me away. Insane. His voice is so good. It's up there with Chris Stapleton. I'm saying it. Not quite there, maybe, but damn, it is good. And that song specifically, No Room for Blue, really displays his powerful voice. He's got some really nice duets with female vocalists on a few songs, which I really enjoy. Most notably, the song The Shadows, one of my favorite songs of the year. I have played it so much. And that one really almost gave me like Van Morrison vibes. Yeah, Van Morrison feel to that one. That's called The Shadows. Yeah, with these horns, and really pretty and fun song too. Yeah, I just feel like this album takes you on a great journey through various sounds of country, rock, and soul, and the songs are really catchy and got stuck in my head. Like, so many of them got stuck in my head. And my wife loves this album too, so we listen to it together a lot. Yeah, number 2, Darling Blue by Marcus King. I'm actually surprised something beat this. But something came through and just touched my soul. Touched my De La Soul. I'm just kidding. All right, and that gave it away. But my number 1 album of the year is Cabin in the Sky by De La Soul. Yeah, I mean, Magic Alive, Mckinley Dixon, was almost hip-hop album of the year. I didn't think anything could beat it, but then I really dove into this new De La Soul album, Cabin in the Sky, and yes, this has got to be my number one album of the year. Um, and so it's crazy because De La Soul has been putting out music for 36 years. So these guys are legends of hip hop. So to be putting out something like this at this after all these years is impressive and not typical. I don't usually gravitate to this kind of release, but one of them actually passed away a few years ago. So this is a semi-posthumous album, as they use pre-recorded verses from Trugoy the Dove, aka and referred to on this album as Dave. So with these factors, I typically don't expect artists who have been around for this long to put out music that is this worthwhile and creative. I did not see this coming, but man, they really put out a really fun and beautiful album here. And I would say the concept is what really hooked me, because this album is a dedication to Dave, as the cabin in the sky is essentially referring to heaven or wherever you go when you pass away, where Dave now resides. But they present it in this way that they are tapping into the cabin here and there, and so he can still spit verses. And they do this, and they're establishing that he is still here and spiritually present, even helping his friends and guiding his friends from up above, and helping steer the ship of their lives. And there's a beautiful line on here that I'll read that talks about that from the song A Different World. And he says, I know you're providing us with warmth. I'd rather you here with us fighting through the cold. Us arguing and mad at each other would be better than us not to have each other. But all I can do is bite my lip and be blessed to have you steering the ship from a different world. Those are beautiful lyrics. Obviously, he's got a great flow when he's delivering it, and matches the rhymes a little better than I did. But those are the lyrics, and it's just a lot of reflections on losing someone and dealing with the grief, but celebrating them and tapping into them spiritually. And I feel like this is what I try to do when it comes to my friend Ty, who I lost some years ago. And I feel like that way of thinking about it helped me to still feel him and have him guide me through things in life and feel his presence, and think about what he would say and do, and really try to tap into that. And I think this album talks about that a lot, and so that's why it really touched me in that way. And it's really an album of wisdom, and a true testament to friendship. Yeah. Here's another line that exemplifies that. As we got older, we talked healthier. Loud attitude craved to be stealthier. We cooked up an oath, putting emphasis on growth, with a friendship that won't budge. Every now and then out of place we get nudged. But we day one fitted, so we stay a day with it. Also some wisdom throughout, with one of my favorite lines being... Oh, sorry. I was reading that as it was a rap line. My bad. This is a different line. So it ends at the... Anyway. He says, no need to grieve for the death of the old you. That ushers in change. Give birth to better versions for you to claim. Yeah, I mean, this is just wisdom on display here. And with this deep topic, you would think it would be overly sad, but the song, it is a celebration of life. This is a fun album, and it's not all about the death of Dave. There are many just fun songs with fun production. The production by De La Soul themselves, with beats from Pete Rock, DJ Premier, and Super Dave West as well. Such great production, great samples, bright, fun beats. So And I think they even say at one point too, like, all right, let's not make it so serious or whatever. Like, play that funky beat or something. And then it gets like just this fun, like almost disco-y song. Again, this album's a journey too, and just full of wisdom and meaningful content. And I'll leave you with one more line from this album. And then I'll sign off. Sorry this went a little long, but this is this album is worth it for sure. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Melodies of wonder are shared in celebrating them cabins in the sky. Never a dry eye when you go searching for the ones that slipped away. Those ascended from the timeline early, may you reach that cabin in the sky, and know that you will be cherished by those who were hurt you slipped away. That is the beauty of that album. And it really, really touched me and meant a lot to me when I think about people who have slipped away. So with that, much love to y'all. 2025 was a great year of music. Go check out Cabin in the Sky. I'm going to go listen to it right now. All right. Much love to y'all. Thanks for listening. Until next time.